Hello, I'm Doshon Farad. This is a special MxNetwork news report. Two former Minneapolis police officers were sentenced on Wednesday on federal charges stemming from the murder of George Floyd, the black man who was killed when their colleague Derek Chauvin kneeled on his neck during an arrest. At a hearing in St. Paul, Minnesota, U.S. District Judge Paul Magnuson sentenced Chao Thai, who's 36 years old, to 3.5 years. Early on Wednesday, he sentenced J. Alexander Kuang, who's 28 years old, to 3 years. This according to U.S. Attorney for Minnesota, Andrew Luger. In February, Thao and Kuang, along with the third officer, Thomas Lane, were convicted by a federal jury of depriving Floyd of his civil rights and failing to come to his aid while Chauvin, a white man, choked him with a knee for 9 minutes. 39-year-old Lane was sentenced last Thursday to 2.5 years in prison, while Chauvin was sentenced in February to 20 years and 5 months on federal charges related to Floyd's murder in May 2020. After the hearings, Floyd's girlfriend, Courtney Ross, said she had hoped for stiffer sentences for both men. A cell phone video of Floyd handcuffed and pleading with Chauvin for his life prompted outrage in the days after the incident, spurring huge daily protests against racism and police brutality in cities around the world. The four officers were called to a Minneapolis grocery store on May 25, 2020, and tried to take Floyd into custody on suspicion he used a fake $20 bill to buy cigarettes. While Chauvin was kneeling on Floyd's neck, Kuang placed his knee on Floyd's lower body and left it there for more than 8 minutes, according to prosecutors. Federal prosecutors argued that the three men knew from their training and from basic human decency that they had a duty to help Floyd as he begged for his life before falling limp beneath Chauvin's knee. Chauvin was also convicted of intentional second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter in a state trial in 2021. He is serving a concurrent sentence of 22.5 years on that conviction. In May, Lane pleaded guilty to state aiding and abetting manslaughter charges and agreed to a sentence of 3 years in prison. A state trial is scheduled to begin in January for Thao and Kuang. Get this. A black man who was one of only 4 residents of Washington, D.C. arrested for taking part in the January 6th insurrection has received one of the longest sentences thus far for his role. The federal government sought a 60-month prison term for Mark Ponder in court on Tuesday, which he got, and Judge Tanya Chutkan added 3 more months, equaling over 5 years in prison. His punishment is tied for the longest with the December sentence of Robert Scott Palmer, a Florida man who struck Capitol police officers with a fire extinguisher. Ponder, who was 56, was also accused of later attacking a Washington, D.C. police officer and being among the violent throng attempting to crush its way into the Capitol building via a tunnel. His sentencing hearing featured testimony from Capitol Police Sergeant Aquilino Gonell, who testified that the assault left his life forever changed. Gonell, who has been present during the Congressional Select Committee hearings about January 6, says he will, quote, never be back in uniform due to the injuries he sustained on that fateful day. He reportedly received his most severe injuries after Ponder attacked him. Ponder told the FBI after his arrest that the Supreme Court and former Attorney General William Barr should have acted on former President Donald Trump's voter fraud claims. Judge Chutkan said she considered adding more time to Ponder's sentence given the nature of the crime. While the case against Ponder appeared to be clear and compelling, many on social media are still wondering if he was given such a lengthy sentence because he is black. Hundreds of cases in connection to the January 6th insurrection are still being adjudicated, and hundreds of additional arrests are reportedly coming. Ponder is one of about 850 people so far who have been arrested. Emmett Till's life and his mother's fight for justice are shown in a powerful new trailer for the movie called Till. It's the first trailer for the movie, which centers around Emmett, a 14-year-old black boy from Chicago who was lynched in Mississippi in 1955. Despite worries from his mother, he visited there, where a white woman falsely accused him of attempting to grab her hand and waist inside a grocery store. Emmett was taken from the home where he was staying and brutally murdered. The woman's husband and his brother were tried for Till's murder, but an all-white jury acquitted them. Later, both men admitted to killing him, but they were indemnified from further justice by double jeopardy. In the trailer, Emmett's mother is played by actress Danielle Deadwyler. Whoopi Goldberg, Frankie Faison, Jalen Hall, and Halle Bennett also star in the film. It's directed by Chinonye Chukwu. Till will be in select theaters October 14th and will be released nationwide on October 28th. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas is not listed as an instructor for any courses on the website for the District of Columbia's George Washington University's Law School, where he's taught since 2011, a removal that follows the High Court's controversial decision undoing decades of precedent protecting a nationwide right to abortion access. Thomas, among the 5 justices who voted to overturn the precedent established by Roe v. Wade in 1973, also offered a concurring opinion suggesting the court should also revisit other precedents, including those entitling Americans access to contraception, same-sex marriage, and same-sex relationships. His role in the decision prompted a GWU student to launch a petition signed by 11,300 people calling for Thomas to be removed from his teaching post at the university. In an email obtained by the GWU student newspaper, The Hatchet, Thomas's co-instructor said the justice had informed him that he would be unavailable to teach this semester. George Washington University spokesperson Timothy Pierce confirmed that Thomas informed the law school he is not available to co-teach the class and that students were informed of the decision in an email from Mags. Pierce did not provide any further details on the decision. Mags will now teach the course solo, according to the university paper. He did not respond to a request for further information on Thomas's removal from the university's list of instructors. A spokesperson for the Supreme Court also did not return a request for comment. GWU said in June that it would keep Thomas as an instructor for its constitutional seminar, despite the backlash following the court's abortion decision, saying in a statement, quote, "Debate is an essential part of our university's academic and educational mission." I'm Doshon Farad, and you're watching MX Network News.